I am doing the exercise of home sales on page 669. I'm going to be toggling between several screens doing this to make this go a little faster. You'll have to put the pause button. I want you to open up Access 2013. I click on it. I've got that there. I have a file already open, but I'm going to go and create something, okay? It wants to create one, so I'm going to click on a blank database. And I'm going to call it, as it says in the book, we're doing this called Homes. I'm just going to give it another name because I have another one already open. And then I'll just put this on my desktop. You can put it in the correct folder also. Create. So it comes up there. We're going to be creating a bunch of fields, okay? We're going to go into the design view. And it says here in step B to save it as properties. When you're doing this, you have to be extremely accurate. It's not the most forgiving here. We got this ID field here. We're going to go underneath here. That is a primary key, the ID. I will talk about that later. And we're going to call it date listed. It's a date time one. I can hit the letter D. Hit the tab key again. Don't put spaces in here. Date sold. List price. Square feet, number. I'm hitting the letter N, okay? You don't have to put anything in the description there. Short text is the default. If I miss something here, I could just hit the boot. I could just edit it. And you can see I got that wrong too. Agent ID. And wait a minute, that should have been short text. I could just click in there again, make it short text. No, I left out a row. I left out garage, okay? Didn't mean to, but I want to show you this. You could just right click here, just like Excel, right click, insert rows, and then I type in garage. And if I'm going to do data entry, I click in here. You've got to save the table. So we've got that. Now what I want to do here, I'm just going to minimize this, and I'm going to try to find the other one I've been working on. File, recent, open. This is the one that we did with properties. You type this in. It's impossible to read the book. It really is difficult, but everything has all the data entry in here. Now what we want to do, we have to add more records, and that's really easy. You could go into your Excel spreadsheet, which I have open. This is step F. We're going to hold row 2 and drag it down to row 70. Oops. And I copy. Go back into Access. I want to paste these in here. So what I do, I click on the asterisk. I could do a Control V to paste. Yes, I want to paste these 69 records. If you had missed a column or something, you're going to have a major mess. And then you're going to have to undo, fix the data in there. Okay? Now, what we want to do here, we're creating another table called View. So I'm going called, I'm sorry, agents. It's right there. And I'm just going to show you how to create one here. And I'm just going to click on create. I'm going to say table. I'm going to go into the design view. I cannot have two tables with the same name. I'm going to call it agents 1. I'll delete it later, okay? And all you're doing is literally, you're changing the first one here to agent ID. And then you got first name, short text, last name, title. Turn the page, which is everything here. And then we have to enter this data. I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to say yes. This is the data that we typed in there, okay? I'm going to get rid of this table now. I just right-click on the file, delete it, yes. Now, what we want to do here, we want to create relationships. If you're creating relationships, you can't have anything open. I'm going to close both of these out. So I go to Database Tools. I click on Relationships. Put these two fields in here. Close this out. If you want to see everything, pull it down. And what it is here, the fields, the agent ID, and the ID field on the other one, which was not fixed initially, what I would do now, if I go into agents, properties, if I go into here, and I go over here, I call it agent, close this out, say yes, so I'm going to close this out, cancel. No, this was left to be an ID. I made a mistake here. Everything was done right. I'm going to hit cancel. And I'm just going to say I don't want to save this. No. I'm going to close this out. So what it is agent ID goes to agent ID over here. Check that off. This. I'm checking what the book says. It says that referential integrity. I say OK, create. You've got the double ring ceremony, infinity. I close out of this, say yes. If I open up the agents table, you see the plus there, it shows what each of them is selling. So we've got that. I'm going into the second to the last step here, where it's talking about sorting and filter. We're going to open up the properties table. And what it wants you to do is to do a filter by form. We click on the advanced, we click on filter by form. And what we want to do, we want to find prices that are less than $300,000. So we go into here, the less than symbol. And we want 2 bedrooms. So we find beds. We type in 2. And then I do the sort and filter. Toggle filter. And it shows all the houses under $300,000 with 2 bedrooms. If we save this, I'm going to click on the X here. Say yes. It's going to keep the filter in here. If I open it again, it shows everything. I click on toggle filter. If I want to remove the filter, which occasionally you want to do, you would click on advanced, click on clear all filters. And if I want to do a compacting repair of the database, that's database, I click on compact and repair database. It shrinks it down, makes it run more efficiently. This was the exercise that you did.